Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Dragonmeet seminar, which you might be watching as part of the Dragonmeet Online convention, or you may be watching it another time, in which case that's okay, that's fine, you can watch it now, that's all right too. So,
close this video right now, you're not allowed.
Yeah, no, if you're not in Dragonmeet, then stop. We are normally at Dragonmeet every year. We have a seminar where we talk about everything that we've been up to and all the exciting things that we've got in the works for next year. Obviously, due to the usual reasons, we're doing this virtually this year. We have actually quite a lot of the talented team here. So we have Emmet Byrne, senior producer.
Hello.
Zach Dale-Clutterbuck, developer on Wrath and Glory.
Hello.
Elaine Lithgow, developer on Age of Sigmar, actually on lots of things.
Everything.
Yeah. And Pádraig Murphy, producer on Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody. And I am Dom McDowall, and I'm on Cubicle 7. So, we've got loads to talk about. My notes just fell off the screen. We're going to try and do this in one take, so apologies for that. The last convention, actually, yeah, it's true. Dragonmeet 2019 was the last convention that most of us attended in person, which is, that's interesting facet of this year. So we'll be running some games as part of Dragonmeet Online. We'll be sharing news and info all through the day. That's what day is that again? That's Saturday, December the 5th, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there'll be lots of things coming out on our website and through the Dragonmeet Discord server. And you may spot some Cubicle 7 items in the Dragonmeet charity auction. The charity auction is always a real highlight of Dragonmeet. It's fantastic. So if you get the chance, then do log on to that and see what is going on and what amazing things we have up for sale, and all going to fantastic good causes. There is that. Elaine will be joining a panel on Warhammer, how to get started in Warhammer RPGs, that's being hosted by Chris Handley from Darker Days Radio, and also from Hell Rides to Halt, and as a contributor to a number of products that we've put together. That should be great fun. Make sure you check that out. There'll be loads of info and links on cubicle7games.com, so you can check in there and see what sort of things that we'll be involved with. Cool. I hope you're all well. We're mostly working from home and juggling that through and making that all work. So hopefully not for too much longer now. We'll, as I'm sure we're all watching for news on vaccines and things like that. And cannot wait to get back to conventions and to being able to say hello in person and meet up with you all. So can't wait for all of that. Hopefully next year, fingers crossed. We've had one of our busiest periods ever in the last few months. So lots and lots of things are in the pipeline, which we'll talk about a bit more during this seminar. I always forget this bit. So who are we? Cubicle 7. So we've been going for how long now? We're coming up to 15 years. Is it 15 years next year? Yeah. So we are a games company. We make tabletop games, mostly role-playing games. We also do some card games, and we've done a dice game, and we've lots of things actually in the works at the moment that we probably won't talk about too much. But that's us. We've done lots of things. At the moment, you'll know us mostly for our work on the Warhammer games. So that's the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound, Warhammer 40,000 Wrath and Glory, Doctor Who role-playing game, and Lone Wolf, and lots of things. There's a huge amount of things there that we've worked on. Lately, we've had big launches for the Age of Sigmar Soulbound role-playing game, and the Wrath and Glory for Warhammer 40k. That's I think that's in the US. That'll be launching next year, but you'll be able to get your hands on it here. And that's so we've had some wonderful COVID-related shipping. Great, but we'll come back to that later. and the Enemy in Shadows for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. So again, we'll come back to that, but that's the classic Enemy Within campaign that we are producing the director's cut of, and that is releasing at the moment. Cool. So if you listen to our last podcast, we will, or whatever this is, I don't know. There is lots of us to go through. We're going to start with Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. So, Pádraig, loads going on with you guys at the moment. So, what's been on your desk recently?
Well, quite a pile of stuff. So it's great to be at Dragonmeet in some fashion. I had looked forward to all of the conventions that were going to happen in 2020 to talk about WFRP, and it's been great to be on video. I would have loved to have been there, but as you said, hopefully vaccines next year will make a difference, and we can all go back to hanging out, not in our homes in the same offices all the time. So what's been going on with WFRP? Lots of stuff. So our most recent. We've had a good few releases recently. Middenheim is just out, so Middenheim City of the White Wolf is a really, really good city book for probably, depending on who you ask, one of the foremost cities in the Empire. It's packed with stuff. There's so much in it, so many plot hooks. It's a really great exploration of a city with a very different theme than what you might have experienced in like the starter set, which is a very Reichland, Uber's a very Reichland-centric kind of place. It's great, but when you go to the north, things are different. Ulrich's in charge. You have to grow a large beard if you want while you're putting that book together, which is part of what's happening here. And it's a really fun, great setting, and it's been received really well. So that's out on pre-order right now. You can get the PDF, and it will be printed very soon, Q1 next year. So you'll be able to get your hands on the fascinating print of that. I also see, if you look behind Dom, you can see the map of that by Daniel Kovacs, who did a brilliant job on illustrating the City of White Wolf.
It's so good.
Yeah, I love it. It's packed with stuff. We could have made that legend like 3 times wider, so many locations are detailed, but it would have impinged on the map, and then that would have kind of defeated the purpose. So that's out now, and you can get that in PDF right away, so that's good. Recently, which will be like a couple of weeks ago when this goes out, One Shots of the Reichland also went out, which is like 5 very nice punchy adventures you can run that are stuffed full of mostly cheese puns, which people seem to have appreciated. So that's available in PDF right now, which is quite nice. We're continuing to work on The Enemy Within, of course. So that's, if you don't know it, it's a really, really epic series of like 5 fantastic adventures that build into a massive, great campaign. We've been putting out the core campaign books along with companions. So right now in print, you've got The Enemy Within, Enemy in Shadows, and its companion are available. Also in super special fancy collector's edition. Death on the Reich and its companion are both out for pre-order, so you can get the PDF right now, and they're both with the printers, so they will be somewhere on an ocean at the moment, maybe. I don't recommend trying to get them until they're in shops. That seems safer. And
wise advice.
Yeah. And Power Behind the Throne, which is like part 3, the first book of that is imminent, and that's set in the city of Middenheim. So if you wanted to like pre-game your GMing of that, you could buy Middenheim right now, read up on it, and be set to dive in straight away.
Surely, if you wanted to track down Death on the Reich, you could just jump on your barge and go again.
You should. But you see, you would need the trading rules.
Of course,
printed in the Death on the Reich companion to find it if you wanted to get it on your barge. So it's a bit of a catch-22 on that front. So those are out right now, and that's exciting. In kind of like parallel news, you've probably noticed that WFRP is now also on some virtual tabletops, specifically Roll20 and the Foundry. So we're going to continue our support for that. The response has been great. It's very timely to be on BTTs right now in the world that we're in. I think it's important that people have outlets and keep playing games any way they can, especially social games with your friends. I could wax nostalgic, but it's a good time to be gaming and making contacts with people and just having social experiences, as I'm sure everyone knows. So we want to make that as easy as possible. So we're on Roll20 if that's your favorite platform. We're on the Foundry as well, and there'll be more modules out for those quite imminently as well. So we have some very enthusiastic and talented developers who are converting our products over to those, and it's a great place to go basically and dive in, and it can handle like a lot of the bookkeeping for you, so you can pretty much get gaming straight away. So that's exciting. There's been a few blog posts on the Cubicle 7 website, cubicle7games.com, dealing with kind of like folk and folklore. of more the northern parts of the Empire, which, you know, might be a good place to dive in right now as well. You would find out some interesting things that might whet your appetite for Middenheim and maybe even places further north of the Empire. So yeah, that's what's going on. Coming up very shortly is Archives of the Empire as well, which is an exploration of some areas in the Empire we didn't get to touch as much in other products that we would have liked. So some stuff on elves, dwarves, and halflings. If you can read the halfling chapter without laughing, like, I might send you a prize. It's very, very well written. I really enjoy that bit. I enjoy the whole book. It's great, but I enjoy the halfling section. I've just seen it in layout. It's looking great, so I'm pleased with that. That's available for pre-order right now. It'll be out in PDF shortly, and it'll also be in print in Q1. So that's good. We'll have... What else?
So take a breath. There's so much stuff.
I can't take a breath. I've been on Facebook, and everyone said that if I took a breath and stopped, they'd be really angry. So I just have to keep going. Power Behind the Throne will be out very soon. We'll have another Uberstrike adventure out shortly as well. We'll have a special seasonal adventure out quite shortly that you can enjoy. If you've, it's nice. I can't say anything about adventures because it's spoilers, but there'll be one out that you should enjoy with your friends. It's seasonal in a Wolfrup interpretation of the holidays, which is probably a bit more grim than, I don't know, hopefully your Christmas will be. Yeah, and that's it. Take a breath. Is that everything? I think that's everything. So yeah, and most of what I've discussed will be out in PDF this year, and it'll be exciting stuff out Q1 as well. So
there's absolutely loads in the pipeline. It's great. I mean, and that's even before we get to the Imperial Zoo stuff and some of the other plans that we've got for next year as well. So yeah, there's lots and lots. So I was going to mention a bit about our Death on the Reich, because we had to switch printers on that one. Yeah, so that one's going to be a little bit behind where we thought it was going to be, but we've moved to a very high-end printer at absolutely fantastic quality. So it's in very, very safe hands. But we were seeing some things that meant that we needed to change where we were getting it printed. So I think it's not going to be like too far behind, is it? I think it's on press at the moment, and we're expecting to get it to people. Q1, I think, still, isn't it? It
will be hitting distribution. So yeah, we had some challenges there. I think we've addressed them well. One of my big concerns was that people who got the first part of the collector's edition would find that like the second part wouldn't quite match exactly or something. I have a decade of experience in the print industry, and I also like things to be precise. That would have wrecked my head. That won't happen. And I just want people to know that will be fine. So yeah, you get the very same high quality out of Death on the Reich, standard or collector's edition, as you did with Enemy and Shadows, which I think everyone can agree is pretty nice. It's back here somewhere, far away. So that will be good. And of course, we'll be continuing that with Power Behind the Throne as well. So I think our new setup with print will actually, overall, we'll see 2021. We will have a lot more in print, in distribution, faster. I think we've opened, like, our bandwidth is wider than it was.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah,
it just took a bit of maneuvering.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's, and I think it is that kind of like with everything that we do, quality is really, really important to all of us. Certainly speaking for myself, it's I love books and I love beautiful books, and that's what I want to be making. So it's really important that we can get the best quality stuff. I mean, yes, there's making sure that it's coming through at the right time as well. So the new printer is really, really well set up for all of that. So that should be a short-term pain, but for it's a long-term gain. Oh no, that's terrible. That's like
okay.
I'm going into motivational speaking.
In other news, we're also moving into motivational fitness videos.
I refuse. I quit. No way.
Excellent. Well, that's the next seminar. But that's all looking really good. Cool. Excellent. Thanks, Pádraig. Who wants to go next? Actually, I've got an agenda and everything. I shouldn't just go freestyle at this stage, should I?
Well, you said do it all in one take, and here we are. So.
Soulbound's next.
Great, that's me. So Soulbound is going really well. We're obviously very busy as well, as is the whole team. The core book is out now, it's shipping from our Irish warehouse along with the collector's edition. And the GM screen. The core book and collector's edition will be in the US shortly. Pre-orders are going to start commencing soon. Again, it being that time of year, the ports are very, very busy, and also, due to the pandemic, even busier this time of year. But it's in a good place. I think it's going to be shipping pre-orders very soon in the US. As soon as it reaches the warehouse, they'll be straight back out the door. So again, there's been minor delays there due to actually boats getting into port because they were just rammed full of other boats, I guess.
It was trucks.
Yeah. Trucks shouldn't be in ports anyway.
The boat. I know, they just kept sinking. I don't know what's going on.
Have we tried using a boat instead?
That's better. It was there were delays. I think just getting the shipping arranged and getting things happening there, but then there were no trucks when it got there. There was a shortage of trucks leading into the holiday period.
Of course.
Yeah, it's been 2020 has been the year that has just kept on giving.
Yep.
Just the best.
Yeah, it's. I think because we had. Everywhere just seemed congested. I think when things started opening up, it was sort of like from the factories onwards. It was hard to get factory slots, and then hard to get shipping slots, and then finally, can you get a truck for love nor money on the eastern seaboard of the US? So and I mean, unfortunately, that's Soulbound and the Wrath and Glory rulebook that were caught up in those. So. It's taken way longer than it should have done to get from from factory to warehouse in the States. So the US release dates are lagging behind a little bit. I think we're getting things out to people as quickly as we can, just ask for just bear with us. We're doing our best, and we'll get them out as soon as possible.
Yep. Those who pre-ordered from the UK and Europe, I believe most of the shipments have gone already from our own warehouse, the pre-order stuff, and should be landing in game stores soon, I think. I'm actually not sure on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And Soulbound, the still actually right now we're waiting for that truck to show up at the warehouse, so it should be on the truck, which we finally got. So we haven't absolutely got it set in stone, but it's looking like we should have it should be in stores Soulbound should be in the stores in the US on the 16th of December.
Great.
So that should be the launch date there. The people who've ordered from our web store, those orders will be as soon as we get it into the warehouse, and those orders will be shipping as well. So we'll be going as quickly as we can.
Yep. And then as Pádraig and Dom mentioned, we have changed printers, so there's a slight delay on the starter set being printed, but it's actually being printed, I think, as we speak, or very soon to go on the press to be printed. And with it being a starter set, there's punch board and books and tokens and dice and everything, so there's a little bit longer of a turnaround the actual production of that. So I think we're looking at late Q1, early Q2 possibly for street date on those, but obviously we'll update on our blog and everything, and in future videos more than likely, once we have a bit more on those. So since we did the last video, Fateful Night, which it was our Halloween adventure by Cat Evans, came out, which was a lot of fun, set in Brightspear. It was a Halloween adventure, but you can play it all year round. The mortal realms are always full of horror and terrible things. I should mention as well, we have the Brightspear map, which you can see behind over Dom's left shoulder, which is where Fateful Night is set and where the starter set is set. That's available now on our online store. We also released the Anvilgard City Guide and Rotten to the Core, next parts of the Shadows in the Mist campaign. So Rotten to the Core is the second adventure. Anvilgard City Guide is a guide to the city of Anvilgard, shockingly. The next adventure, Crucible of Life, is looking really good. It's through layout and proofing, just needs a couple of bits of art and tweaks and things, but should be out in the next few weeks, hopefully. Hopefully before Christmas, anyway. And then what else do we have in the works? We have a couple of PDFs coming out, which should be really nice. We have one called Streets of Brightspear, which is set in Brightspear again, which myself and Elaine have worked on, which has been a ton of fun. Elaine, do you want to chat about what's in Streets of Brightspear?
Yeah, sure. So Producer Brightspear, similar in some ways to the Anvilgard City Guide in that it gives you a bunch of endeavors, so like special things you can do during your downtime, which you can only do in Brightspear. So lots of cool things there if you're wanting to go down into the Undercity to look for artifacts, or tame yourself one of those lovely flaming spiders down there that are absolutely perfectly safe for you to take with you wherever you are. There's no problems.
Not advisable as a mount.
No, not advisable as a mount. So we've got that in there, a bunch of endeavors. We've got another market section, which is a bunch more items and equipment you can buy, and that also includes potentially getting some random Undercity artifacts. We've got some cool tables in there that let you generate sort of arcane and magical and esoteric items. What else have we got in there?
Well, the artifact table is amazing because it can create so many different types of artifacts that are really like a ton of fun. I think that'll be a lot really interesting to GMs and players. My favorite endeavor is you can go and explore the 9th globe in Brightspear, which was the Realm of Chaos, and you go in for a week and you forget what happens and you come out and you know a chaos spell. So we have 4 chaos spells that people can learn in now, one for Slanesh, Tzeentch, the Horned Rat, and Nurgle. And the Nurgle one is just gross. It's just absolutely gross. It covers people in boils, and every time they move, the boils explode and deal damage to them, which is just horrifying. But yeah, it really nice. I think it's going to be about 18 pages, I think. And Elaine's done some awesome stuff with the endeavors and the tables and everything else that's in there. I think it'll be really nice. I think people will really enjoy it.
Yeah, my favorite random Undercity artifact I rolled was, what was it? It was an hourglass that flowed backwards that contained a sinister intelligence and let you cast a spell that you didn't normally know, which was just all from rolling this random table.
Yeah, really, really awesome.
That's like a whole adventure. It's not just
exactly. Yeah.
Why is this hourglass alive and has magic? Let's go look into that.
So we have that coming out. That's actually at layout at the moment, so should hopefully be out in the next few weeks. As well as that, we have a PDF coming out called Doomed Lands, which is written by Cody Falk. People might have seen in Fateful Night we introduced this idea of doomed lands and doomed locations. The PDF gives you 3 doomed locations in 7 of the mortal realms. Not Azir, because Sigmar doesn't deal with that. No, none of that going on in Sigmar's realm. So you get 3 doomed locations in each of the other 7 mortal realms that gradually get worse as Doom accelerates. So once it gets up to 5, the seas start to boil. When it gets up to 7, they boil and they stick to you and restrain you and burn you alive and things like that. So there's a lot of really, really cool stuff in there. Some good advice for GMs on how to use Doom in your campaign, which I think people have been asking about. So I think that'll be a really nice PDF for people as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it should be good. Cool. And then the last PDF we have coming out before Christmas is our Christmas adventure with the Master of Ceremonies, Jacob Bugmanson the 11th, Brewmaster General of the Mortal Realms and the Cardron Overlords. Which is just amazing. As soon as we saw Bugmanson, we were announced, we have to do an adventure about that. So he ventures to Brightspear, and you get to just go on a really happy pub crawl, and nothing bad happens. No, absolutely not. One of the nice things about that actually is we've included the Brewmaster archetype. So you get a new archetype that you can play with, who has his own Brewmaster rig that he has that has a keg of beer on the back, and a pressurized beer nozzle so you can shoot people in the face with beer if you feel like wasting it. He can also brew like magic beer that heals you or makes you more powerful and things. Yeah, so it's really, really nice. It's a really fun little archetype. A lot of fun writing that. But yeah, that'll be out before Christmas, and should be a lot of fun, I think. And then the last thing I'll talk about, and then I will shut up for a while, is Champions of Order, which is going really well. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll make... Hang on. I have to go, because I think that's actually a Warhammer order. One sec.
So much for the
working from home. Yeah,
We can keep this. It's fine. It's one day. We're relaxed. We're kind of, you know, that's fine. Sometimes people need to leave panels.
This is my
a YouTube
my
unboxing
Warhammer order. I knew that would happen. I was going to flag it, like, guarantee.
No, that's all good.
Let's just leave that in. It's my big box of paints, my Soul Wars starter set, and everything. Yeah.
You set that up to look more legit.
My son is waiting outside, just ringing the doorbell. I cued him when. But yeah, sorry. Champions of Order, we are working on. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to make release before Christmas, obviously with the holidays and everything. But it's going really well. We have almost all the chapters are finished writing. Multiple chapters are through editing. All the art is progressing well. Elaine, you've written some stuff at the start of Champions of Order for background information. Do you want to chat about that?
Yeah, so that's really diving deep into the origins of the binding ritual, how the ritual itself was made and put together, sort of the nitty-gritty details of who did what, diving into various bits and pieces on the benefits of binding, the downsides of binding, and then the potential for your binding to be put together by different gods, things like that as well, and how different gods' bindings differ. So that's been good fun.
It's really nice.
And yeah, lots of good tables to sort of, if you put a group together, you can roll to see why you were selected, what made you special, essentially, because you know the gods have got to take notice of you, right? You don't just meet in a pub and then all get your souls painfully lashed together by god magic. So, you know, some tables and everything on to give you lots of ideas for how you're brought together and what you were initially sent out into the mortal realms to do. So lots of fun stuff there. So many tables.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But yes, writing the tables is exhausting. But last night you tried out one of the new archetypes last night. You wanted to reveal the new archetype live, not live, pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded live. I got to take out the Shadow Stalker last night in the playtest. Daughters of Cain. If anybody is familiar with Warcry, that's all those lovely miniatures with the cloaks of shadow, and much like on the tabletop games, you have a talent that comes with it that lets you teleport from shadow to shadow and sneak around and get some wonderful assassinations from the shadows. I was the quick game I did last night, going through a tunnel system and just teleporting from shadow to shadow, assassinating Skaven.
Those tables were turned.
I know. Normally I'm the one who's writing about the Skaven, and Skaven are my big fans, you know. But no, last night it was the great Skaven Plague, and it's some of the most fun I've had in Soulbound so far, just teleporting around as a Shadow Stalker and really enjoying using shadow magic, like grey magic and things like that as well, to do illusions and trick people and then, you know, viciously stab them in the back. So great fun. I can't recommend the Shadow Stalker enough.
Yeah, I think that's going to be great. That should be a lot of fun. Yeah, again, as soon as those miniatures came out, we're like, yep, we have to use those. But the we should have, I think, some art reveal for that over the coming weeks as well. And we should also be showing another Lumineth archetype. We have two on the cover. We have the Alarith Stone Mage and the Alarith Stone Guard, and we are showing off the Skinari Cathalar, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, but they're really cool. They basically take in the negative energy and can weaponize it. which is really interesting approach for them. So they have a mechanism that ties directly to Doom in Soulbound, which can give them a bonus to their spellcasting. So they basically take in the negative energies in the world and throw it back at the bad guys, which would be a lot of fun. But I think that's it for Soulbound. I think.
Awesome. Yeah, I think what Elaine was talking about there with the, I think that's one of my favourite parts of Soulbound is just how cinematic the action feels. I think especially when you have an ability like that, and there's a great sense of I don't know, dynamism to the action, and you feel like you are being actually, I think the internet would describe it as a proper badass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I did a backstab attack and managed to kill 6 Skaven in one turn with a single backstab, but they were all in shadows, so the GM just described it as Skaven shrieking and flashing of blades, and then 6 Skaven just fall down, and I'm just like...
That's some top drawer anime nonsense going on there. That's great.
Teleports behind you. And
yeah.
Excellent. That sounds great. All right, let's move on to Wrath and Glory. So that's Warhammer 40,000 role-playing. And we've been sending out from here the rule book over the last week or two, I think. Oh, I have it here.
I have one up here as well. It's a beast. I'm worried it might bring my shelf down, strong. Honestly.
Excellent. So yes, Wrath and Glory has been heading out around the place and will be nearing street date or the launch date in a lot of places, probably as you're watching this. With the exception of the US that had the problems with the shipping. So I think it's going to be towards the end of January that's going to get into stores in the US. So a little bit more time to wait there. Sorry, but we've been phoning ahead, trying to make sure there are trucks for this one, so it can go as quickly as possible.
We'll just buy a truck.
We shall see.
Just buy a truck. Easy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take much to convince me.
Completely unrelated, but if you're on the east coast of the US and you own a logistics company, call us.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you've got a truck that can go over the Atlantic, that would be
the ideal.
Yeah, definitely. We can cut these boats out. Yes. So that will be getting into everybody's hands very soon. Zach, what else have you got there? Zach, you've been working on recently. The Forsaken System, I think, is near sharing, isn't it?
Yeah, the Forsaken System Player's Guide, I mean, by the time this comes out, there will be quite a lot of the archetypes will have gone up on our blog, and you'll be able to see the cool new art for those. There's a really good librarian piece going up today, I think, who is absolutely just doing some regular old reading, looking after the books. No death or murder at all. It's just good stuff. The 20 new archetypes and the 3 new species have been really fun to work on. They're going into layout right now. I saw some of it today, and it's looking fantastic. So we're hoping to have that out before the end of the year. Loads and loads of cool background on the Gilead system, and the Wrath and Glory system for Endeavours itself is going to be in that book. Slightly more restricted than some Endeavour systems, but that's for a very good reason. Those restrictions give you a lot of really good storytelling opportunities to work with, like how the Imperium actually works and like the organizations within it and the duties and responsibilities that your characters would or would not have. I think it's all great storytelling fodder. And the whole book is packed with cool 40k information on the ground level. Even on like things like agri-worlds, like how does the farming work, which is all the rage. That's the big thing that's taking up a lot of our time right now. After that, we are working on Litanies of the Lost, the collection of 5 different adventures, the first of which should be coming very soon, and we'll start seeing some previews for, that Elaine actually wrote. If you wanted to talk a little bit about that, it's really, really fun and also going into layout. I saw that one today as well. Very cool, like action horror adventure.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to give too much away, as it always is, especially with adventures that are very investigation heavy. And it's the rule of horror, right? Is that the instant you show the monster, it stops being scary. So I'm not going to share too much in case any of you wonderful players who are watching are going to end up being thrust into this particular nightmare scenario. But
you can always take the option to lie.
Yeah.
Oh, just blind face line. Okay, right. So there's this planet that we call the Rainbow Sunshine. No. So it's a manufactorum that specializes in the production of servitors, which are the cybernetic corpse servants of the Imperium, has gone silent and has gone into lockdown. And everybody they send in doesn't come out. And the only messages we've heard are some bad noises, and your party will be tapped to go in and find out what the heck is going on. And that's all I'm going to say. Keep it nice, mysterious,
Very cool.
but
It's really cool.
keep an eye out for further information and everything.
Sounds great.
Yeah, dude, it's really cool. It's super cool, and one of my favorite things about it is that loads of the ideas that Elaine's put in have loads of potential reuse for GMs as well. There's just lots of clever advice and really weird, scary stuff and ways to mess with your players. A lot of stuff like that. And then following on from that adventure, there will be the other adventures in Litanies of the Lost, which will be coming early next year. And we've also started a bit more work on the vehicles book, Church of Steel, which will be coming early in next year as well. Yeah,
Awesome.
Will there be a vehicle in that book that I can sit on and shout, "Drive me faster, I want to stab them with my sword"?
There's a few. There's a couple.
Cool. Excellent. That's fine. Just checking.
If you're creative enough, you can do that on any vehicle.
Yeah.
You can just do that on the floor. You can just sit down with a sword and shout it. You just won't go very fast.
But if you're not a big tank, nobody takes you seriously. That's
true. It's
in life as in games. Yeah, that's also that helps as well.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody. Have we missed anything? I think that pretty much covers a lot, doesn't it? I should talk about watch out for new Doctor Who stuff. Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited. We're not quite at the stage where we're going to be showing that off yet, but do keep your eyes peeled. There'll be some great Doctor Who news coming soon, and some other stuff as well.
Yes,
including something from the earliest days of Cubicle 7
yes,
that is making a reappearance. That's going to be very exciting. I'm going to leave that enigmatic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Deep mystery.
But everyone has seen the sketch of the cover and everyone was blown away, so...
Oh,
yeah.
It's so nice. This thing that we're not telling you about,
So
and this thing that we're not
good.
showing you, so good.
It's so good.
Excellent. There's low. I mean, it's like every it's been a bit of a year, hasn't it? There's been lots of distractions and interruptions and big derailments of things, and just to end on a down note, obviously, but
we're all
so
miserable
much
at
been
the
going on
end.
as well. I know. We were getting too happy then. I thought I'd just try to suck all the energy out at the end and make everyone cry. No, where I was going was there's so much good stuff that we've got in the pipeline at the moment, and I think that it's been in some ways it's been a bit of a year of consolidation for us. I think, haven't we? We've been putting down some really good groundwork on all of the lines that we're working on, and some stuff for the future as well. So I think we'll be emerging into 2021 with an awful lot of amazing games for you, and I'm really excited. It's
No, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah, cool. Great. Well, we'll leave it on that note rather than I think I pulled it.
Yeah.
I've never been more excited for a new year.
Can I just say I've shown incredible restraint because my new Bugmanson is in that box and I really want to see it. And also, most of that is for Christmas, so I guess I have to leave it in the box.
That was such a forlorn look.
Yeah.
It was really.
Maybe I can repack it.
This doesn't turn into an unboxing.
Yeah, yeah. If anyone wants to hang around for another hour, you can see me try to put together my first ever Warhammer thingy and just ruin it.
Excellent. Oh, we look forward to seeing the results. This time next year, we can see the painted version.
It'll just be in my pile of shame with nothing painted and nothing built, but lots of stuff bought.
Excellent. I wouldn't know what you mean.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't know.
Just slowly rotate the camera to one of those tables, Dom, full of pictures.
Oh no.
I get, that's terrifying actually. Just the yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
There's quite a few on the table just behind. I'm not going to show people.
You have the Catacombs box coming, right, Elaine? With the Shadow Stalker.
Which is the first. Yeah, I know.
Oh
It's
wow.
the first big box thing. I've made a rule that any Soulbound character I play, I must model and paint. So I mean, it just meant I had to buy the entire edition. I don't make these decisions. My hands are tied.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the gaming version of method acting?
As I obsessively spend hours painting them, I'll just be doing the voice like, yes.
Then just get a load of Skaven and squish it. Anyway.
Right. Okay, well, I think we've taken these good people's time for long enough. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy Dragonmeet Online, and come and see us at cubicle7games.com. I think there should be one or two of us chatting on the Discord channel during the day. But we're in all the usual places. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and all those places like that. So come visit us and have a great rest of the year. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers,
Bye.
folks. Bye.
Bye. Enjoy the con.
Bye.
Excellent. Easy peasy.